Hey, so I was praying the other day about being a content creator, about the season of winter and how I want to pick things up, how I feel pressured to pick things up without the energy to pick things up, and how I feel like it just never stops. There's always this urge to do better. There's always this urge to do more, especially if you're a business owner as well. Oh my God, there's someone in there. And especially if you're a business owner as well. I'm in my backyard right now. Thought I'd get some greenery in the background. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you like it. As I was praying to God about my concerns, about the sense of urgency, the heaviness and overwhelm of wanting to do 10 things at once as a multi-passionate creator. If you're multi-passionate, comment below what your passions are, because I feel like I could write a book on all the passions that I have. Even if you're not multi-passionate, if you're just feeling overwhelmed by your dreams, by your goals, the woman that you want to become, the life that you want to create, and it just feels like everything is going in slow motion, it feels like the days are going in fast motion, the days are passing so fast, and there's only so many things to do in a day. In the season of winter, ew, there's a spider. Something I've realized is, in the midst of a world filled with accessible fast food, conveniency of microwavable meals, I'm a slow cooker. I'm a really slow cooker. Like recently I've been gravitating towards more whole foods. I tried the paleo diet for a couple. When I cook food, it takes hours. I personally find enjoyment. It's soothing to me to chop my bell pepper in tiny dices, to chop my onions in tiny dices, to chop the garlic in tiny dices, and to slow cook my meats and season my meats really intentionally. I like to soak my meats before I cook them. Really put an extra effort towards cleansing them before I put the seasonings on. And oftentimes when I'm cooking multiple things. I am cooking chicken drumsticks that are slowly cooking on a stove pot, as I'm also making homemade mashed potatoes and infusing them with nutrients that I know will benefit me. Like I recently started making my mashed potatoes with garbanzo beans because of the nutrients that help stirring your cycle, because I've learned that garbanzo beans is a really beneficial food for multiple seasons of our cycle. So I will mash the potatoes and mash the garbanzo beans together, and it's so freaking good. So freaking good. But I have family who will walk in the kitchen and be like, when are you leaving? Like, you live in the kitchen. Like, how long is this gonna take to cook? And I will just be happily prancing around, sipping my wine and taking my time doing it, because I really value the taste, the texture, the vibe of a meal, and I enjoy every process of that meal. And if I were to rush it because I wanted to hurry up and feed everyone and hurry up and feed myself, then I won't get those little things that make the meal special. I might accidentally burn the meats if I cook it too high. I might put too much seasoning because I'm not paying attention to that, because I'm just so hungry. I want to eat right now. Like, as I'm seasoning, I'm tasting and I'm making sure it comes out perfect. And this is something I think I got from my mom. My mother is such a great cook. She is like the cook of the family. She's had neighbors in her past of different cultures personally teach her how to make those cultural foods. So she knows those little insights. And as a little girl, I've watched her take her time cooking. I'm the same way when it comes to my art. I'm the same way when it comes to my craft, when it comes to things that I'm passionate about. I would rather take my time, even though it's gonna take hours and I can get it done in an hour. I pay attention to those little things, so the meal is that much greater, so the video is that much greater. I will take an extra 2 days and be late on an upload to add extra details, to add extra pizzazz, to make the video all that better. My last video on signs that you're a 𝐋𝐞𝐯𝐞, I initially was gonna just have it be a reaction video, but in the midst of that, I was like, you know what would really help my subscribers more? If I gave them some signs of 𝐋𝐞𝐯𝐴. I really went into detail on pick-me tendencies to avoid, so we don't put ourselves in predicaments that pick-me's often end up being in. And I made that video as a former pick-me, as someone who's dealt with the consequences of trying to be chosen by a man, of trying to chase a man's attention. And I made that video out of love because I got out of that, and ever since then life has been a lot easier, and I want that for you. I want that for my subscribers as well. But yeah, back to the realization. Through that realization of realizing I'm a slow cooker, and I'm a proud slow cooker, and I'd rather take forever to cook a meal, because through putting in that detail, through having that patience, the meal will come out. It gave me a lot of peace, because great things take time. You can't rush greatness. And I feel like a lot of people push that there's a timeline that we need to be great now, and we need to be at the top now, and if you're not at the top now, then you need to sacrifice sleep, and you need to sacrifice all these things in order to be great. But sometimes greatness is like a plant, and all you've got to do is plant the seed. All you've got to do is water it like once a day, let the sun shine on it. You can't get mad and try yelling at the seed to grow faster. You don't get mad at the sun for not shining all day. Nature runs its course and creates so many beautiful things with minimal effort. And you can do the same too. I personally have planted multiple seeds, and I've seen I've personally planted multiple seeds several years ago, and I'm seeing them sprout. I'm seeing the fruition of my intentions, of my daily habits that have created who I've become and a life that I've created for myself. And there's still things that need to sprout. The plant isn't fully there, but I know that I'm doing what I need to do to get the plant to grow to its fullest potential. If I get mad at the plant and overwater it because I want it to like grow faster, it's gonna die, it's gonna drown. If I try to put extra light on it because the sun isn't shining enough and I feel like I need to put more shine on it, I could burn the plant, just the same as you'll burn your food if you're trying to cook it too fast. Something else I was also dealing with and I prayed about is how the pressure got bigger once I saw my seed sprouting. Once I saw something sprouting from the ground, I felt like I had even more responsibility to make sure that it doesn't die. You know, when my channel went viral, when I had some viral videos going, I felt pressure to post twice a week. I felt pressure to post 3 times a week, to post as much as I can. And in the midst of that, I was going through a huge change in my life. I moved to a different state, in a different environment. I got a new job, and I'm still in the middle of like tweaking and rebranding myself while also honoring where I feel called to put most of my energy. As you know, as a multi-passionate, we don't just want one plant. Multi-passionates often, multi-dimensional people often want a whole garden. And with that, it takes extra care, because if you're too busy focusing on that one plant, you may neglect the other plant. So it's a lot of like juggling, and it takes more time by having more plants to tend to. And you feel more pressure because you have this picture of this immaculate garden. It's not just about the flowers. I want tomatoes, I want to grow pomegranates, I want to grow really special flowers, and they all have their own sense of special care. And there's only so much energy that you can give. There's only so much time that there is. So instead of fighting it, trust it. We're in the season of winter. Winter is meant for rest. Winter is meant for hibernation. Why am I feeling pressure to have this immaculate garden in the middle of the snow? Like, I'm beating myself up because some of the plants that I've planted died, you know, and that's just winter. That's just the cycle of life. And through death comes rebirth of new plants if I tend to those seeds. And I wanted to make this video to inspire you to trust the seeds that you're planting and kind of just separate yourself from the hustle, do as much as you can mentality, because sometimes all you need to do is water and trust that the sun will shine on them. Yes, there are some plants that may need a greenhouse, that may need an extra light, but know those plants that you're growing and don't feel pressured to have them be perfect 24/7, because that's just not how nature works. I'm done going against nature. This is my message to you, to trust the garden that you're planting and let yourself rest when needed, and stop fighting against nature. Like, people don't get mad at the weather. If it's raining, you get an umbrella and you go about your day. We revolve ourselves around nature. Nature doesn't revolve itself around you. And I want you to treat your arts, I want you to treat your passions, I want you to treat your goals like that. Great things take time and it's coming, but don't stop working towards it, even if you have to take a break, and trust that the breaks actually are needed to make your plants that much more beautiful. What really sparked my conversation with God about this is I was looking at my most recent videos, and after that the high of like going viral multiple times and everything, I just felt like it shouldn't stop. I felt like, why is it stopping? I started to pick apart myself and really blame myself for something that really has nothing to do with me. You know, sometimes the algorithm won't work in your favor, but that doesn't mean you're not a great creator. That doesn't mean you suck at what you do. It just means that you're in a season of winter, and in the midst of wanting to be a fast cooker, in the midst of wanting to have meals within the snap of a finger, I am a proud slow cooker. And if you are too, let me know in the comments, like this video, and I will see you in the next one.